Hey Ringside Crew. Welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe, Panther the Third.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to an episode, but it's kind of like a production of the all-new show, It's PA Wrestling Roundtable. I'm Joe Panther the Third, and today I have two gentlemen that I respect 100%, 100 as they would say in the hood. We have the Hard and Soft podcast, my brothers from another mothers. So, guys, how you doing?
Yo. What's up, Hard and Soft family? And I'd like to shout out my friend, Joe Panther the Third. Glad to be here. We're doing a little bit of Dudes at Ringside. We're going to give a little bit of opinions here and there. But me and my shoot brother, the Big Softy, we did come from the same mama. We're just here to talk about some wrestling. We are from the Hard and Soft Pro Wrestling Podcast. What's up, Softy?
What's up there, Big Hard? And what's up, Panther Man?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Honored to be here. And I know there was a lot of hype around this episode going live here this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Dudes at Ringside and Hard and Soft Pro Wrestling Podcast. We're going to collaborate here this morning. So hopefully Big Hard and I can live up to all the hype. So we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Whoa. Yeah, we're going to toss in this show on the channel because I'm like, I could probably find a lot of other podcasts from Pennsylvania to add to this roundtable eventually, even though it's a production of Dudes at Ringside. So it's like a side chat, side show, even though it's not like the big interview thing I do all the time. But yeah, it's something. It's something.
Yeah, so it's definitely something. I've been seeing you at a couple local shows, PPW. Yeah. I forget where else I saw you. At Allentown, Pennsylvania, I saw you at a wrestling show. So we've definitely got to connect a couple times.
And also Smash Masters Wrestler. That's another one you should definitely hit up there.
Yep.
Really good. It surprised me how good. Even though they don't really have belts. As they would say, there's no belts there yet. I don't even know if they're going to ever have belts. But it's a
title.
It's a title. It's funny. I think
they might not have belts there. I don't know why. I gotta call you Panther Man. It's rolling off my tongue. They might not have belts, but you got those red glasses, and I love the gimmick, man. I'm always looking out for the red glasses every time I see you. So
that's right. I love it too.
Even though these are the screen ones, these are the ones that I usually wear during the show or when I'm out in public.
There we go.
Damn. Yeah, Big Hard and I is going to step up our game here.
Yeah, we did.
You did. You got a banner behind you now.
Yeah.
And
I got a right here. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Yeah. The theme song is bouncing. Remember, we both have almost a similar theme. We have a bell after yours. But the girl that did mine is my other co-host from Ghost Head Nerd Talk, Rain. And I always give her the shout out. She helped me make that theme song and that intro that you just saw.
So yeah, I like it.
She's a whiz. And I did the one. Yeah. She also had, I like it. Vince would say,
damn it.
So yeah, let's talk about first and foremost, if you want to talk about before we talk about WWE, AEW, and anything else, have you been to any let's talk about some independent wrestling, local wrestling. Have you been to any local wrestling shows lately?
Yeah, me and the Softy just went to not independent, but we just went to see TNA in Philadelphia 2 weeks ago. That was awesome. We got to see the Hardy Boys, man. That was like a dream come true. Seeing the Hardy Boys right there in front of us wrestling, and I mean, they hit all the tag moves. It was just awesome. But
yeah, man. Yeah,
we have another.
Go ahead there, Big Hard.
I was going to say there's another independent show coming up. If you're in the PA area, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, July 20th. It's EHW, Extreme Hybrid Wrestling. They're up at Jim Thorpe, like I said. If anybody needs the details, let me know. Bell time is at 7. Doors open at 6. It's going to be a great show. I'll be there in attendance and doing a little backstage stuff. Like I was telling the Big Softy this morning, I'm about a month into my training. I don't know where it's going to go, but hey, if I get one match out of this, I just hope that you both will show up for it. So,
I definitely, if I'm in the area, I'll be able to go. My job is kind of like 50-50 about me having off
I'll
on.
call the boss for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, they kind of. Nice job. I
Or
like.
get you a vacated day.
Yeah, the residents like my show. One of them actually, she watched it, and I was just like dining room, and I could hear my own voice. And one of the girls goes, my workers goes, doesn't it bother you your voice is happening somewhere across the room? And I go, yeah, it's kind of creepy.
No way. I'd love to hear my voice everywhere I go. That means everybody is watching. You know what I mean?
I want to
That's
just
when you know
walk
you
around
made
with
it.
a QR code at a party and just be like, can you? But it freaks me out when I hear my voice multiple times. Like if a guest hasn't subscribed yet, if you haven't subscribed to Joe Panther Variety Show, what are you waiting for?
Hit the subscribe
Subscribe
button.
and like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to these awesome gentlemen right here, Hard and Soft. Their podcast is awesome. Weekly, they have a weekly WWE, AEW, old. They even go old school, like your boy, Mr. Old School himself, Magic. Like you guys talk about the old school wrestling stuff, like what I love going back. And I was actually, I'm like, you guys should go back and watch some of the Bash at the Beach. I'm watching some of the old Bash at the.
Yeah, you know what? That Hogan turn would be a good episode to do.
I just watched that episode 2 days ago, and
It's
I was
great.
just like, I never got. The only thing I've ever seen is the stupid clips of everything, and I finally saw it, and I was just like, oh my god, those fans.
I remember watching that live back in the day. Like, holy crap, Hogan! What the heck are you doing? But hey, Salty, why don't you tell them about the episode we got coming up later on?
Yeah, man. I mean, we got we're gonna go Flair versus Taker at WrestleMania 18, and that's kind of why we started our little podcast that we do. We love doing it. Me and Big Hard, my shoot brother, that is. We talked about it for a long time, and once we figured out how to do it and how to record and all that, we have a blast, man. And it's just about flashing back, like you said, to the old stuff that we loved watching as kids, and then recapping some of the new stuff and. It's a way for me and Big Hard to get together, and even though we live an hour and a half away or whatever, we can still record whenever we want. So we have a blast doing it. And you talk too about the independent scene. I think Big Hard and I went to our first 2300 arena show back in like 2018, and that's when it was Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore. And ever since then, I mean, we had been to a couple wrestling pay-per-views at that time at Wells Fargo, but the independent it blew us away, and we got to meet some of our wrestlers, and we respect those guys so much. So we've been doing that ever since. And the 2300 arena is a great spot for your first show too. It's small enough where you feel like you're part of the action, but there's a lot of history there with the old ECW arena, and then just like you, Panther Man, we go all around the state of PA, and
even though I venture out,
show that we can, man.
I venture out back to
independent wrestling.
As I always say, and I put it in every post on Instagram, I'm trying to do it even more now. You guys gotta support independent wrestling. It's like most people think it's gonna last forever, but like. These promoters, they put their heart and soul. I sound like Dusty Rhodes. Put their heart and soul in all this stuff they do.
I'm a common man.
Speaking of Dusty, when Big Hard and I had our WrestleMania extravaganza that Thursday night when we first got down there, we ran into the Dusty Rhodes and Macho Man guys.
Yeah, they were awesome, dude.
They're well known enough at this point that when we saw them, like we popped. We were marks.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we asked Dusty, I don't know his real name, but we asked him, we said, hey, can we take a picture, man? We'd love to. And he goes, yeah, sure, baby. So as soon as I hand my phone off to someone, we're taking a picture, and it's silent, and all I hear is, rice and beans, baby. I'm on pork and beans. He's in his gimmick all the time, so it was awesome.
He's in the gimmick.
I met the Macho Man at the ISPW 80s Con in New Jersey with Sassy. And
he's hilarious.
It was so funny. I saw him twice, and then my Sassy sister. We were sitting in the bleachers. We were looking down, and my sister is making a live, and she's holding my phone. We were live there, and my mom texted my sister's phone and goes, "I'm watching live. Is there two macho mans in the front row? And they were sitting next to each other. And my sister's
That's
going,
funny.
Mom, what are you talking about? And then she looked at the phone and went, oh my God, there's two of them. Wait, I thought there was one macho man. That was the
There's
same
two,
day.
baby.
Two. Back to the Future.
It's freaking awesome.
Yourself. You'll break the universe. So yeah, also that was the day I also met Teal Piper. Have you guys met her yet?
No.
Roddy Piper.
No. Rowdy Piper's daughter.
Yeah, her daughter.
Dude,
For real?
Sassy freaked
Look at
out.
my hip.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I watched. It was recently just watched Rowdy Piper versus Flair in WCW.
Yep. Great stuff. Roddy Piper back in the day, man. Great. But hey, what's your favorite thing going on right now in the world of wrestling, Joe?
Oh my gosh, the most recent the Wyatt 6. That right there, that build up. I'm a writer, and that build up to what's going on. They keep showing like Rotunda's brother, and I knew something was gonna happen when they were in front of the table and they had Wyatt's mask on the table and he was talking over the mask and he was talking there and that look in his face, like I'm like, that's not the normal Bo Dallas. It's Believe.
Yeah. We're glad we're out of that era.
Creepy Bo Dallas that the people outside of him we've never seen. And like I knew from that moment we are getting something. That Triple H, Paul Levesque breaking the fourth wall. Hey Paul. CM Punk style. Like he is going to write something, or he's going to have them write something that we are never, Chris Jericho, ever are going to forget. In this timeline of wrestling, we needed this. We needed this after the whole Vince McMahon fiasco with all the stuff he was doing with the wrestlers and pushing people away. More wrestlers are going to come back that Vince tried to get rid of from the ones that are coming in, like Joe. Like we're also seeing my alternate name, Joe Henry. We're going to get a chance to see Joe Henry on WWE TV, even though it's on NXT.
Yeah. Hey, to be honest, we were at that TNA show, and I don't know much about Joe Henry except for when he came, onto NXT and stuff like that, and I kind of watched some of his stuff on YouTube. But the pop that he got at TNA, man. I mean, the crowd was singing that song. It was almost a bigger pop than the Hardys. It wasn't.
Oh, geez.
I said almost. But
bigger
I mean,
than the Hardys?
I'm telling you, that guy at TNA is the man right now. So it's good to see him on NXT. And hey, Ethan Page just won that NXT title. They're doing the collab with NXT and TNA. I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, and it's wild that but I'm going to say this, pre-AEW days, you would have never seen TNA and the WWE working together. So, AEW comes in, shakes it up, gives us more options as viewers, as marks, but also gives wrestlers options, which is awesome. And now you're seeing WWE and TNA working together. You're seeing different talent show up on each other's shows. I mean, Jordan Grace in the Rumble, and she had a great showing. Yeah. That's awesome, man. And the world of pro wrestling and the business is super fruitful and good for everyone involved. It has probably never been hotter. So it's awesome.
No, this is the best period for me right now. And I just seen an article that AJ Styles and Io Sky are going to be wrestling over in Japan. I think it's a Pro Noah or Noah Pro Wrestling. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's some federation in Japan. But WWE is letting them go over there and do that. So I mean, the collabs are just going to keep coming and coming and coming. I think it's Triple H is doing this. I think he knows that this is the right way to go.
Yeah, and Panther Man, I don't want to steal the spotlight here, but I got a quick question for you. I'll let you run the show, but who's your Mount Rushmore, man? Who's your 4 favorite wrestlers of all time?
Oof. All time, it's funny. I never seen him wrestle. Yeah. Oh God, Dusty Rhodes is trying to come through my body today. I don't know.
Eating them pork and beans, baby.
Always in my Mount Rushmore, I always have to. Younger me would be going, Joe, Hogan. But first, the whole stuff's going on with Hogan. My grandfather always would be the first face on my Mount Rushmore. My grandpa, Jose Quinones. It would be, of course, the one and only, the pinky flying around with the cool robes, Macho Man Randy Savage would be number 2.
Oh,
Number 3 would be the wooer, the flying Mr. Ric Flair would be the next person. And always Mr. spinning around, giving you a super kick out of nowhere would be Shawn Michaels. And the last person on that wall would be Rey Mysterio.
There you go. There you go. That you don't see many people putting Ray on that Mount Rushmore, but he does deserve to be there because if you watch the style of wrestling today, that was Ray back in the day. You know, now, I mean, you see the size of wrestlers. There's no Batistas and Brock Lesnar's. You know, there's not that many of those people out there, and it's cool to see that Ray kind of started that for these smaller guys and gave them the chance.
Yeah, when you talk about Rey Mysterio, I think there's 2 guys that come to mind. Rey's one of them, right? He brought that lucha libre Mexican style to the WWE, which made it, I guess, more global and put more eyes on it. But he did it so well. And the stuff that he did was just, he made it look so routine. And the other guy I think of when I kind of think of that high flying style was Rob Van Dam. I don't think Rob Van Dam gets enough credit for his career, not only in the WWE, but all over, you know, again, he's still wrestling and he still makes his stuff look, he can go out there and do such crazy spots, but still make it look very offensive. And all of his stuff, you believe in it. And yeah, Mysterio and Van Dam, they deserve all the credit in the world.
You know what you guys should also go back and watch? A lot of the pay-per-views, the matches when the cruiserweight division. Like, I watched, it was funny, Disco Inferno versus Dean Malenko.
Dude, Dean Malenko back in the day,
he was legit. He was
really, you put him in there with anybody. I mean, he was just great. If I could put on a classic like a Dean Malenko, and I mean, you don't hear that name very often. Dean Malenko, he's never coming up, but I'm sure he's in the back, and I'm sure he's helping a lot of these guys.
Yeah, and you can shout out to the Hard and Soft archives. We did Eddie and Ray back in, what was that, Big Hard, 97?
97, I think it was a Halloween Havoc. Yeah, I mean, Eddie Guerrero.
So that was great. But another guy in that kind of cruiserweight division that I always liked growing up, that doesn't get talked about enough or a lot, is remember Billy Kidman? I thought his stuff was awesome, and his I forget what he called his finish.
It's a 7-year itch.
But
how do I know that? But that's all I remember hearing. And people, my friends were like,
and who did Billy Kidman date back in the day? Didn't he date Stacy Keibler or something like that?
I thought it was Tori Wilson.
It was
Tori Wilson. Tori Wilson. Okay. I mean,
so
and
it's funny because Tori Wilson, you're over, man.
That's what people always said. Like Conrad will always say that about like Billy Kidman or David Flair. Like, screw David Flair. He dated Stacy Keibler. He had a great life. You know what I mean? But good old days.
Past week, like the pay-per-view we just had. What did you guys think about it? It was like pretty interesting. That didn't have a fault. Was there any matches in the pay-per-view that you would have like, in the video game you can go back and edit before you actually do the match? Was there any matches in that pay-per-view you would have like fixed or changed in any way?
Well, I thought again, and Big Hard and I were talking about this morning. I think the WWE is clearly going. They're kind of shifting their style to, their big shows are the weekly televisions. It's Raw and SmackDown that they save a lot of the debuts or the comebacks or the big moments. But their PLEs are so strong because they're international now, and their crowd reactions are just so. I mean, the crowd alone is what makes wrestling great. So if you got a hot crowd, anything that's going on in the ring or on the TV is going to be good. I thought the pay-per-view was solid, but I think it could have used a little more spice to it, if you will, there, baby. I think the main event was a little
on this
flat.
episode today, man.
I think that the main event was a little flat, but everything was solid and good. The spots were crazy. And the ladder matches were awesome. I thought the women stole the show. But yeah, I thought it was solid.
Yeah, definitely a solid pay-per-view. Some of the spots in that Money in the Bank, both the men's and the women's, I was kind of like, I was sitting here cringing like, oh my God, I can't believe that they just did that. Like
The
one
Chelsea
spot
Green
Naomi got,
through the table.
that Chelsea Green spot off the ladder in the ring, through the outside through 2 tables. Come on.
Very easily could have went wrong.
Oh my God.
She could have got killed.
Naomi got slammed on the ladder. It looked like the back of her head just hit right on the ladder. I mean, it was brutal. Pay-per-view was good. The ending was good. I like the fact that Solo beat Cody. It kind of adds levels to the story, but there's no way Solo's beating Cody. I mean, if he beats Cody, it's because of the bloodline came in, but I really don't think Cody's losing that title to anybody besides The Rock. So
I thought the spot of the night in Money in the Bank was certainly when it was a little weird when Andrade set up the ladder on the ropes and then like I don't know, it was like, okay, so you did that and then didn't, I don't know, it was a little gimmicky there, but when he's up on one side and I can't remember who's on the other side, and then LA Knight flips Andrade over and Andrade just so happens to catch and go into the sunset flip on the other side of the ladder. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Andrade's great, man. I mean,
yeah, he is.
I thought they were going to do a lot more with them, and maybe they will. But
there's so much talent, and there's only so much time. But I think Andrade, if he hangs in there for like 2 years, you'll see him up there in the main event.
Yeah. Raw was great though too. I mean, did you guys see the Punk and Seth Rollins promo? Punk and Rollins. That was good. I mean, just bringing out like a character in CM Punk that we don't really see, because he's always just so nasty and conniving and evil type person. But you actually saw like a side of him, like he was kind of sorry to Seth Rollins for screwing him over. We'll see how sorry he actually is. I'm not sure if that was, his intent to really be sorry, but we'll see how that goes. But I like the storytelling there, with Punk and keeping him in the mix while he's injured, because Punk, they probably paid a lot of money for the guy, and I'm telling you, he does draw numbers. I don't care what people say. They don't like Punk. He draws numbers, man.
Yeah. What did you guys think about the NXT pay-per-view that happened?
I caught like half of it, but I really like the fact that they did this Ethan Page win for the title. Honestly, having the TNA guy win the title, it's kind of like, well, where are we going now? Is Ethan Page signed to WWE? I don't know. Why would they just put the title on somebody that's not even signed? Unless WWE somehow mysteriously bought TNA, I highly doubt that.
Imagine Vince McMahon style or Shane McMahon style. Some Triple H shows up on NXT on that show and goes, "I own TNA."
I mean, they could buy TNA and use that as their farming system. You know what I mean? Because NXT is almost getting to the point where it's bigger than just like a training grounds for the new superstars. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They almost need like another OVW type place to have superstars that you don't want to put on TV yet. You need to master your craft, but.
Yeah. Well, did you hear the rumors floating around that that they're thinking about bringing back WCW? Did you see those posts coming around on Instagram? I did.
I seen that. It would be cool for a pay-per-view, maybe. You know what I mean? Do like a WCW themed pay-per-view. But I was listening to Eric Bischoff, and he was kind of like, well, who are the main guys in WCW? You got Ric Flair. You got Sting. Booker T. Lex Luger. Hogan. Are any of those 5 guys even really available to do anything?
Hogan's got bad hips. Flair is crazy punching random people in bars. Like, did you see he got my dad? Papa Panther sent me a video like twice. My dad, Papa, he sent it to me already. I saw the video twice.
Papa Panther.
And Papa Panther. Papa Panther. He's upstairs, probably on his laptop, his iPad.
That's a hell of a main event. Big Papa Panther versus Big Soft.
Big
Daddy Softy.
I don't know. My Papa Panther probably would be like cheat. Probably pull like a brass knuckles out of his.
Oh, I'd love to see that. little Logan Paul action.
Hit you with the chancla. Hit you with the chancla.
So one of my favorite parts of Raw this week, though, who's back? Mommy's back.
Oh, boy.
Mommy's back. And I'm telling you, that ending of Raw has me on the edge of my seat right now, waiting to see what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw. The only thing I'm kind of weirded out about, so the whole Dom and Liv and Rhea thing. All right. So since Rhea isn't on TV, does that mean that Dom can't talk to her? Because it's almost like, well, if they're like this couple, wouldn't they still be together? Just because she's not on TV doesn't mean that, you can't call mommy and be like, hey, this is what's going on. So it's kind of weird like that. But I hope mommy just comes and lays Dom out. I hope she does. And Dom,
I hope they don't steal. You know what, guys? I hope they don't steal the whole gimmick of the Eddie Guerrero China little sabbatical they used to have. Remember that little thing they had for a while?
I almost think they need, Dominic needs to come into Raw with a bouquet of roses for his mommy, like Latino Heat used to do back in the day. But one thing, Dominic Mysterio, I'll tell you, I cannot stand him when he first started. Like that baby face with his dad, it was, oh God, it was horrible. But this Dominic, man, I'm all for it, man. He's got the mustache going. He's got the big mullet going. I feel like they have to do a match with Ray and Dom, mask versus hair.
They may do it. Because I don't know if you guys know this. There was a rumor going around. I don't know if it was true or not, but they said Ray said it was true. Back at that Halloween Havoc that we finally, Ray beat Eddie. Did you know that Eddie Guerrero was supposed to beat Rey Mysterio?
Was it a miscue in the match, or?
I don't know.
Well, I think Ray needed that. Ray was the man back then. Eddie Guerrero was great, but he wasn't to his full potential at that point. Once he started doing that Latino Heat, I mean, come on, man. I would love to see some old Eddie Guerrero right now.
I love how, again, WWE leans into those personal feuds and the personal storylines. It doesn't have to be over a championship or about a match, and the Dom, Liv, and Judgment Day and Rhea Ripley storyline. I love it, and I love the memes of how Dom is the strongest man in the world, not giving in to Liv. I love those, and I think it's awesome. It does seem that Triple H is not afraid to flash it back to the past. He did the AJ Styles kind of Mark Henry storyline. It works so well. And it's fun to do that. There's no ripoff in my mind. I think it's fun to flash back and seeing all the correlations from old storylines coming up new. And I like it, man. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, I'm trying to share your comment. For some reason, it's telling me, do I show it or hide it? I don't know why. It's saying me to review your message that you posted on the channel, in the chat. I don't know why. Weird.
Soft is just trying to.
I didn't write any messages.
It said,
let's keep it that way, Big Hard. We don't need you typing away. Good.
Yeah, no. I stay off the keyboard because I always get myself into trouble. So
I do that anyway. So yeah. So what would you give Raw? What would you give the week? We didn't talk about the most important. We didn't talk about SmackDown. What did you think about SmackDown after the pay-per-view, or did it not happen yet? I feel stupid now.
That's tonight.
That's
what are
tonight.
you looking forward to for SmackDown? Like, what do you like as you go in? Like,
number one thing I'm waiting for tonight is to see Tiffy time.
That's my secret wife. Nobody messes with my secret wife.
Yeah, you might have thought I was doing the Punk there for a second, but no. Tiffy time.
Isn't this hand for Punk and this hand for Tiffy? You got to see it like the right hand.
I'm doing both. Sorry, Tiffy, I forgot. But yeah, she's doing great. I'm glad she's Money in the Bank. That was great. I'm excited to see the Bloodline too tonight because they just went over. Now that Tonga low blow was a little bit botched. Hopefully they won't show that tonight.
They're probably gonna.
The Bloodline storyline is really what's been keeping me really invested in wrestling, and then being invested in that has made me invested in everything else in wrestling. I mean, the past 3 years with this story, it's just it's just getting better and better and better. And we were saying earlier, we can't wait for Roman to come back. I mean, that pop is just going to be insane. I wish I would know what exact show he was coming back at so we could be there live for that, to be in the building.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope they don't advertise it when that time comes. Let's let that be a
they better
surprise.
not. Next week on SmackDown, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief.
You know they are. You know how they are. WWE is. They're not going to keep that quiet. It's going to
be hard. It's going to be hard to keep that quiet because, I mean, Roman's all over the place. And to be honest, it's like he could be gone until the Royal Rumble, but they mention him every week on SmackDown. So he is still in the conversation. So it's just like, I think they do that on purpose so that, you don't need him on TV, but if you hear his name, he will appear.
Like Joe, what's funny? I was with Dollar Club guy, and we were walking to the Smashmaster show at Voodoo Brewery, which is an awesome brewery. You should definitely go check it out.
That's in Scranton, right?
Yeah, it's Scranton, the Electric City.
The Electric City. I was just walking to the office. I actually went to Scranton last year for my birthday. Somebody took me there, and basically we went everywhere that like the show would go. There's a Dundee in their one building. There's a couple of the bars that we went to. It was awesome. So, but I know where that bar is, where Smashmaster is, and I have seen Smashmaster Pro Wrestling. Me and you saw it, Big Softy, down in the drive-in theater. I forget, that was Scranton, right?
Scranton, PA. Yeah, it was a hike.
Yeah, so it was like a big drive-in, and it was pretty awesome. Philly Mike was there. I think he did a spot where he jumped off a U-Haul truck. Philly Mike will be there July 20th at the EHW show, just to let you know. I seen him last time I was there. I was like, holy crap, Philly Mike's here. And his girlfriend Riley Crow will be there too. She's like the women's champion over there.
She's another
Panther Man. Big Hard's going to be running security at that show. Me and you could plan in and give him a hard time if you want. You let me know.
Oh, Jesus.
You're out of here.
Like, don't you know who I am? I'm a legacy. I'm a legacy.
But Joe, what's your favorite storyline going right now? Like, what's your favorite angle? Like that's happening this like very recent right now.
I like that they're giving up an opportunity for the young wrestlers like Tiffy. Like I was watching that match going, oh, man, are they gonna give her the shot? And then I saw what's her name go on the ladder, and I'm like, oh nope, they're gonna give it to Chelsea because the fans are getting a little loud about Chelsea. So. And then I saw her do this, because doing the Chelsea face that, like, and then I saw Tiffy go, no, and then I seen her. I was like, this is my secret wife. Lita doesn't know. I'm doing the Lita what Dom did with what's her name? Tiffany's massaging I think you like a face on my face on Dom's body, and I'm just like, my whole favorite thing with the
Panther Man, you're the Mac Daddy, dude.
My favorite thing is when every time they're doing that, my boy, the world heavyweight champion's always going whip. that's me.
I love Damian Priest's whole like just demeanor for the whole thing, just like telling Dom like, hey Dom, you need to talk to Rhea. Like just the way he brings himself, and like he comes around the corner, there's Dom getting stretched out, and he's just like just kind of smiling like
he's just like whip.
I knew it. I knew this was happening, you know what I mean? But oh yeah, give Hard and Soft a big subscribe. Thanks, man.
Yes, I had to put it in there. I don't know why it wouldn't let it go. And on the channel was like the Chan's like, wait a second, what's this?
It's just great to see though a lot of new superstars getting a chance, and this whole Triple H era is great. Wrestling's just on fire right now. And on the other television channel, what are your thoughts on AEW and what they've been doing lately?
Like, as you know, I'm like a fan that just floats back and forth between everything, and I try to watch a little AEW. If not, I don't get the cable anymore. I'll see like the clips on the phone. That storyline with Mariah May was crazy. You would have thought Triple H was secretly grabbing Tony Khan's laptop and writing the script for that. You didn't think I didn't think it was gonna go that way. I thought maybe she was gonna, do the poke of death on her. They'll poke each other and knock each other out, and end of the match would end like that. I was just like, I saw the video and I was like, dude, she just totally went GCW on that fucking ending with the high heel to the forehead and like
That was cool.
taking out the manager and just went absolutely postal. I was like, boy, did she get trained how to beat someone ass by Philly Mike?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And they don't really do the blood with the women a lot. And that was definitely a nice touch. Toni Storm definitely is doing her thing. You know, the story is definitely good. I hope the payoff is as good as the story's been. But yeah, hitting her with the shoe and just seeing the blood dripping, that was pretty cool.
Stabbed her with it too, like an ice pick, like freaking.
Yeah. And it was a white shoe, so you know what happens when you're wearing white shoes. There's a blood spot coming up. Oh
my gosh!
What do you think of MJF right now?
You know what's funny? I kind of made fun of it when he first returned with the whole leather and the jean vest. I was like, my gosh, someone's getting a little pokey with Paul with Triple H. Hey, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
That would have been great if he came out and if he would have came out and said that would have been awesome, dude. I would have.
Hey, Triple H, you're looking for 3 guys right here to be funny backstage or instantly funny, great commentary, kind of like awesome, like the people you have now. Hire us. We're always looking for a job.
Hey, I'm open on Mondays. Come on,
on Mondays. What about? Would you rather be on NXT right now? They're all fire. Which show would you rather be on? NXT, Raw, or SmackDown?
Man, that's a hard pick. I'm going to go with SmackDown just because of the Bloodline storyline. And that's really the only reason. But honestly, Raw, usually for me, Raw is very hard to watch. But like these past couple months have been great. Like I could seriously sit through a Raw and not even care about the commercial breaks. And it doesn't really even bother me because the stories are keeping me going and going and going and going for a 3-hour show. So as long as you can keep my interest, that's great. But I would say SmackDown. SmackDown for sure.
I'm going to say Rampage. I'm going to say Rampage because it draws the most viewers.
No, geez. Are you excited about next year's big Netflix reveal for Monday Night Raw? Or are you upset?
Oh, dude, that's going to be sick.
You know what, though? I think you can say what you want about the pro wrestling business, but it seems like the WWE usually is first in a lot. So if you remember, they were first in the streaming service. They had the WWE Network. And then what did everyone else do? Made their own network with their own library. And, and then I think a lot of things Netflix is going to pick up. You know, they have the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. It's in their pocket. And I think Netflix is first in the fact that they're going to, start kind of putting a lot of big shows and big television series on their thing. And the WWE's first. I love it.
And live television too. My only question is, like the viewership. Are people going to still tune in to watch it live, or are they not going to care as much? Because it's not like you're just recording it. I mean, it's just on Netflix, so you just click it. Like right after Raw's over, you should be able to click on it and watch it again. So what do you think, Joe? Do you think you'd be more in tune to watch it live, or do you think you would just not really care and watch it Tuesday morning?
I am really excited to see the aspect of if I can watch it live, will it be as exciting to watch it the next day? Because I don't have cable, so I have to go on Hulu and check the most recent episode. Because last few weeks I'm like, Hulu, are you drunk? Like it hasn't updated, and it finally updated yesterday, like 2 days ago.
I think that's because of their. I bet you that's because of their Netflix deal. They're kind of dialing back from that. You know what I mean? Because they're not gonna have Raw on Hulu anymore. You're not gonna be able to. I don't think
I have Netflix in my house. I have a lot. I was praying that they were gonna go to Peacock because Peacock is their place for the pay-per-views and stuff like that.
I love me some Peacock.
I like some Peacock. I like your mug. I need one with my logo on it, or it just says Jude's at ringside.
You can buy these at the Hard and Soft Pro Wrestling Podcast.com. Coming soon. Sorry.
Tell you what, Panther man.
The coming soon part.
We will send you either a mug here, or I'm marked out, and I got you a coaster. I'll send you one. If you send me a pair of those red glasses, baby, we'll do a little trade.
I gotta go to Party City and go get a pair of extra red glasses. I think they're probably like $1.99. I gotta go see how much they are.
Oh, Party City! I might be going to Party City this afternoon to see what they got, man.
If they have any extra red glasses, just grab like a whole handful of meal.
So
had
Joe,
another Mr. Peard on.
Joe, what is your favorite finisher?
Oh my God, of all time. Oh my gosh. Favorite finisher. It has to be the Canadian Destroyer.
Okay. I like the move.
One of those moves that you just, if the wrestler does it right, it's out of nowhere. You know, like those flippy moves. Because
as long as you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
I like it when you don't know that the move's coming. You know, remember when John Cena did it?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Softy's going to go Mount Rushmore of his finishes real quick. Indulge me real fast. Number 1, RKO. Hit it out of nowhere. You can hit it whenever. You can hit it on anybody. Speaking of that, sweet chin music. All right. Through the super kick, it's called a sweet chin music.
That's right.
Number 3 for me for the Softy. Here with my shoot brother and the Panther man. Stone Cold Stunner. Okay. And number 4, Big Hard's going to pop on this one. The old sharpshooter, setting him up later on in the match. I love the sharpshooter. I love that. Is he going to tap spot? So there's my 4.
I think that's going to be a move that I want to use in my arsenal, the sharpshooter. You know what I mean? I love it. I'm going to go something different. I'm going to say the F5, man. I mean, I think once an F5 is hit, that's it. That's it, dude. Like you're done. Unless you're the Undertaker or you're Roman Reigns or something, you ain't kicking out of that. Now, one thing I do hate about today's wrestling is that other people, like, I'm not picking on AEW here, but there was a women's match where one of the women in the match used the F5, and it wasn't even like a big spot. It's just like F5. Like, really? F5 is like 1, 2, 3, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of the F5, one of my favorite matches of all time, the Triple Threat from Royal Rumble 2015. Me and Big Hard were live there. A couple marks in the crowd. Lesnar, Cena, and Rollins. Dude, Panther Man, what's if you can pick it? What's your favorite match of all time?
Ooh, I was at it at SummerSlam in Nassau Coliseum. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H.
Is that the you can shout out? That's the second podcast of all time for Hard and Soft for me.
I was there. I was there in Nassau Coliseum.
What was that like live?
Oh my God! All I can remember is the elbow drop off the top rope and through the tape. Was it through the table? One of the ones he did. I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he did the thing through the garbage can, oh my God, the crowd popped. And when Shawn Michaels was bleeding, oh my God, I was like, and they had 2 pop matches in that show. A lot of the other matches were kind of, That match was 5-star. The Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle match, that was another good match.
And then you had Lesnar and Rock, right? That's where Lesnar won the world title for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah. That was great too. That was a great pick, man. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. I'll tell you that was a great match, and me and my brother loved that match. Like you said, that was our second episode of this podcast. Was that? I mean, I'm a big Triple H fan. I know my little brother is a big Triple H fan too, and I know a lot of people hate on Triple H back in the day for
they hated him.
And everybody, but
I think once I want to see Triple H go into the Hall of Fame. He deserves to be in there, even though he's the guy now. But I think when Triple H eventually is gone, right, people will start to give him his flowers for how good of a pro wrestler he is. And then obviously his era of booking has been crazy.
It's absolutely
the band, the variety show is the Chan is freaking out. It's all like, haha, you guys. Can't even say like Joe Pesci, like, you guys.
Hey, Joe Panda the Third knows. You never know what you're going to get when you get Big Hard. So just watch.
Definitely going to have you guys join me some. Oh, Oh, another bunch of female wrestlers that are from the state of PA. Actually, I'm looking at my ticket from my Smash Master show I just took up with a Valor Club guy. Adina Steele. She's had a crazy road, like breaking her was it her shoulder?
Yeah, she was on AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean she's awesome, dude, and she wrestles better than a lot of the dudes I see on the independents. I'm telling you, I mean,
a lot of intergender matches at the Smash Masters. She wrestles men, like,
and that's because, and I think that's because like she almost needs to, because there's probably not that many independent women wrestlers that are on her level, to be honest. And I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody. It's just it's hard, man. It is very hard to get your timing down, and she has it. She definitely has it. And I think that she could be in NXT one of these days. You know, it might just take some time. There's another one, Real Lady Frost. I've seen her a couple times at independent shows. And we saw her at Collision when we went. And it's just very cool to see when you go to an independent show and you see these wrestlers that you've never seen before. And you're cheering for them, you're booing them, whatever. But then when you go and you're watching a wrestling show on TV and you see one of these people that you saw at an independent show, like before they got on TV, like me and my brother saw Swerve Strickland wrestle Willie Mack a couple of years ago. And this was before he even went to WWE. And we were kind of like, man, this guy's going to go somewhere. And then to see now he's the AEW world champion, and just seeing guys like that and women like that, it's definitely awesome.
And he's a legend too. His manager, that guy, his manager.
And hopefully everyone that's watching or checks this episode out, go support some independent wrestling, man. You'll have a great time. If you've never been to an independent wrestling show and you think it seems lame, or I don't know the people on the card,
mom and pop shit.
You don't need to know anybody on the card. I'm telling you, I've never had a bad time at a pro wrestling show. Never.
Hard could tell you. I went to that show in Allentown, PA, and like I got the tickets from John Rambo because he said he was saving me tickets, and I showed up. I had no idea who the fuck anybody was on that roster. And then boom, I get a chance to finally meet the one and only. Everybody knows her. Autumn Breeze. I interviewed her. I have her bracelet right there.
Oh, you know I have an Autumn Breeze bracelet. I have a couple T-shirts. I have some signed pictures from her. She is my favorite women's independent wrestler. So you
gotta bump her elbow and tell her you need to go on Dudes at Ringside to get your name out there. I've talked to her 5,000 times on Facebook, and
I will tell her, because I might be going to the Triple WA Q-Mart Wrestling Show July 27th. And that is usually where I see Autumn Breeze. And me and Randall, if you've ever heard of Q-Mart in Quakertown, PA, you got to go check it out. I've been going there since I'm 10 years old. And I'll tell you, I love it there. And I never knew that they had wrestling there until one time me and my brother saw an ad for Matt Cardona when he just left WWE. Matt Cardona at Quakertown. And we're like, what? And then we went, and we almost go every month now to these shows. So just shout out to everyone. The dude, great wrestler right there. I mean, I
love the dude. He's been on the podcast. That was the funniest episode ever because I had to make it sound like the name, like how I put it above Dudes at Ringside. So it was the dudes at Ringside. My friends at work were like, I saw the video pop up. It's coming up in a few days. I made no sense to the poster. I was like, dudes.
The dude at Dudes.
And that's why I said it was. You're gonna laugh. You go back and watch. If you after you are done watching us live here, go back and watch that episode. It was so funny because I was like, I had to do my whole intro and go, "This is the Dudeverse." The Dudeverse. Like,
just great.
And the other one that's really good. She travels all over the place. Danny Moe and Fasage. Oh my God, two phenomenal wrestlers. Phenomenal.
How did we not talk about this?
Fasage takes a hell of an RKO the other night.
Dude, he was on SmackDown and took an RKO. I was sitting there watching SmackDown Live, and I'm like, hold on. Is that one Facade? Because I'm like, it looks like him, but I'm not sure. And I'm like, wait a second. I think SmackDown was at Madison Square Garden. Dude, One Facade went and took an RKO at Madison Square Garden. Come on, dude. That was sick. And he was there the same day Paul Heyman got put through the table. I mean,
Yeah.
Come on. That had to have been one of the coolest things. I'm telling you.
And it's funny because you see he's wearing a neck brace. He's kayfabing it up. He's wearing a neck brace. He's like, just got checked
shout out
out
to him. He's going to be at PPW tomorrow night in Slatington, Pennsylvania. I don't think I'm going to be able to make that show, but PPW always puts on a great show.
Another promotion that I got to give shout outs to, that PA promotion that they always give me love, and all the wrestlers always show me love. And I get my tickets, I show up, and I have fun, and I bring my bag of goodies. And if it's not hot out, I wear my blue coat and just go out and represent myself. PPW.
It's going to be hot in there tomorrow night, I'll tell you that, because it's brutal out there today.
Yeah, I got to work, but I'll definitely be back sooner or later in full force, having fun, representing my podcast and what I love, independent wrestling. I love you all, PPW. My buddy Sabrina, definitely. I've been dying to get back and work with you again. I know you're really busy and doing your stuff and doing your thing. I'm so proud of you, Sabrina. Let's talk. We got to talk about little Miss Sabrina, aka Shelby Joe, Miss Joe,
Scarlet Joe,
man. What do you think about Scarlet Joe? I'm so proud of her. Everything she's doing,
it's awesome, man. She's doing her thing. Like I said, it's just awesome being in the ring and being a part of a wrestling show, and she's getting to do that. She can interview wrestlers, being backstage, just getting that experience. And hey, you never know, maybe you'll see her on WWE TV one day, or maybe you'll see one of us three on WWE TV one day, or maybe you won't. But hey, you're seeing us right now on YouTube, and you should just be happy about that.
And Facebook. We're also live on Facebook today.
And Facebook, buddy. Thanks, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yay, Mark. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, you're a mark.
Ew.
And the video gets flagged.
This has been great. This has been a great time today, man. This has been fun.
Yeah. You gotta put a send out to any of our. Hey, this is an APB to all of our Pennsylvania podcasts, and to you, Anthony Blackwell Jr. You want to come on the PA Pro Wrestling Roundtable? You're welcome on anytime you want, man. It's open to everybody and anybody. Thank you very much, guys. The end this chat. What would you give the week of our wrestling Triple H Lord? Hey, Paul. What would you give the rating of this week for wrestling?
I'd give it a great rating. I think, again, anytime you can get people talking about what they should do, what they shouldn't do, what they should have done, shouldn't have done, that means you're doing something right, man. You don't know who's going to win certain Money in the Bank ladder matches. You hope your guy does or whatever. I think the world of professional wrestling is hot. And, like the best thing that came out of us starting our podcast was getting to know guys like you and ABJ. And I just saw Anthony Graves, and you go to these wrestling shows now, and you can pick people up and talk to them and meet them and meet them again. And you're walking by, and ABJ saw us at Collision, and we had a moment.
Yeah, we saw him at Collision.
That's like the coolest part, and it does seem like, of course, you got to shout out Tantalizing Tony. You got to stay tantalizing, and he does great stuff. We met him, and his energy is ridiculous, and that's been the best part. But this week in wrestling's been awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a mac and cheese special, a 5-star delight, and that is coming from the Dave Meltzer rating. No, I'm just kidding. Me and my brother always like to do a little shtick with David Meltzer. But, I'm just thankful for you having us on, Joe. What I want you to do today is I want you to think of your favorite match. I want you to think of what match you want to come on our podcast to and watch. I'm not going to put you on the spot and tell you to name it right now. Okay, I want you to take some time, shoot me a message later on, and we'll try to get that in the books for next week or, coming up here. But
yeah, definitely. It would have to be the week after I come back, because Panther Man's taking a little break. He's going downstairs. He's gonna be downstairs.
Panther, where are you going?
We're off live. I'll talk about it because
Okay, yeah. I don't want the millions
and millions
of the hard and soft and Joe Panther fans finding you while you're on vacation.
I would love to people, and it's funny, I would love people to find me, even though my dad, Papa Panther, will be like, "Hey, what's going on? Hey,
get away from my son."
If it's a pretty Southern girl with a dump truck, yes, please.
Hey, don't you tell, hey, Dad, you stay away. You see the dump truck, you back up.
Papa Panther will be like, He
Good
just
job,
shove
son.
me into it. I'll be like, "Pa, I'm sorry, wepa." I'll be like, "Wepa."
I love it.
But then this is my sister wife. No, I'm gonna go. All right, thank you
And
guys.
hey, can I give one message that I like to tell my fans before I
Yes,
cut
go
off?
on,
Before
Mr.
you
Frank.
give the outro, let me just let the nation know and the Joe Panther fans know that if you're not hard, you're soft.
You're
And
damn
just
right.
remember,
It's
fans.
soft though. I'll let you know.
Yes, and just remember, us, us in a round table, it's not just two. We want to have more. And a round table always includes 3 or 4 or 5. And PA is a keystone state, and it has a key and a stone. Who knows? You can take it out. Just remember, we always want to talk about wrestling. Do you?